Bonjour, tout monde, and welcome to Musings of Fox. Welcome to a very special episode of Musings of Fox. I have my mom, Amy, with me today.
Hello.
And for this video, we're going to have my mom pick my makeup. Maybe in the future we'll do a I do her makeup video if you guys want to see that, but this time we're just going to have my mom pick out all my colors for me, and at the same time we're going to have a really cool chat about... You're not excited right now?
I'm scared.
It's a little, there's a lot of choice. I tried to narrow it down for her, so I didn't give her my entire bucket. This is all my palettes that I have, so I didn't give her the whole bucket. I narrowed it down to 4, but she'll still have to pick my foundation, my lipstick, all that good stuff. And then we're gonna have a chat about my mom's experiences with makeup growing up. And so yeah, so if you want to see how the makeup turns out, just keep watching. Okay, so while I put on my moisturizer, she's gonna give you a little bit of a background on herself.
Well, I am about to turn 68 years old, so I have gone through all sorts of different eras of makeup, lack of makeup, makeup, lack of makeup. So it's been very interesting. I could not wear makeup until I was at least 13, and I preferred eye makeup, which is still true today.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Chicago. I was raised in Chicago, and I used to walk down to Walgreens and just sit and look at all of the makeup. And
They had Walgreens in the 60s? Walgreens is that? Oh my goodness. Go Walgreens.
Okay. and I mostly did eyeshadows light, not anything like Gabrielle uses today, because I had to be subtle.
Did they even have stuff like that?
Yes, they did. Back in the Stone Age, we carved rocks and we powdered the rocks.
No, I just mean like we have neon colors now, and
They had all sorts of different colors.
I think a lot of us get thrown off because the color film wasn't really popular until the 60s and stuff. So we see a lot of black and white, so you just don't assume that there's really fun colors under the black and white. But I heard in the 20s, all those femme fatales of noir movies were actually wearing green eyeshadow and all kinds of stuff that would make it pop against the black and white.
Well, we had a lot of that, but girls in high school didn't wear a lot of that to school.
Yeah.
They might have worn it on the weekends to parties and just, but most of the time to school, we were pretty subtle.
Yeah, I guess, the 60s did have wild colors. Now that I think of it, there's some wild.
Yeah, well, the 60s and 70s were totally different. I mean, I graduated high school in 1969, so I had to be kind of subtle through a lot of the 60s. The 70s were a totally different story. But I mostly used, as I said, eyeshadow and eyeliner and mascara. I liked, and today I mostly use, when I wear makeup, eyeshadow, eyeliner, and mascara.
Yeah, you've never been a foundation person as long as I've known you. But you've always had good skin, so it was
I do have some issues now with my skin where I use a little bit of cover-up and a little bit of powder and stuff. The interesting thing is I've never been into lipstick. I have tried. I've had Gabrielle pick out things for me. My mother wore lipstick every day. She would not leave the house without her lipstick.
My grandmother's a classic 1940s beauty type person.
And she had her makeup and her rouge that she would put on, but she never wore eye makeup.
Ooh.
Ever. So I don't know, maybe I got into that because she wasn't. Whole nother story.
Alright, let me interrupt you for a moment and have you pick out foundation. So we have 3 options, and I already feel like I know which one you're going to pick. So we have the most coverage. I mean, maybe not even a freckleable. Yeah, no, okay. Not even gonna bring that up. We have a medium coverage, but still not. And then we have freckles. Yeah, freckles. Okay, so I'm gonna be using the
Love her freckles.
the Marc Jacobs Shameless foundation. So do you remember at all what brands you used? What brands there were? If
oh,
no,
a lot of the basic, inexpensive brands that exist now, like CoverGirl and
Revlon
but were probably the ones that I used back then. One, I earned my money babysitting, so I never had.
Yeah.
I never got into spending a lot of money on makeup.
That's fair.
And because my mom and I didn't wear the same kinds of things, I couldn't steal hers.
Yeah, that was actually one of my favorite things growing up was when Halloween came around, because then that meant I got to play with your makeup, and oh, that was so much fun. It's your fault, my addiction. No.
So then when I went away to college, it was the early 70s, and natural looks and natural hair and you know, all the quote unquote hippie, you know, stuff was in. So we didn't wear a lot of makeup. And if I wore makeup, it was eyeliner, a light eyeshadow, didn't wear lipstick, didn't wear skin.
What about lip
Stuff.
gloss? Like not even nothing really.
You know, every once in a while I'd probably get a pale lip gloss just to have a little sheen.
Mm-hmm.
But and that pretty much continued in my 20s. I was still into eye makeup, but I wasn't into lipstick and stuff, and that continued to when I had kids. And once Gabrielle really got into all these colors, it kind of opened up a world to me, and I'm going, oh, it's okay to wear a brighter color and put it further, because mine was only on my lids. You know, I didn't do
up to the brow.
up to the brow. You know, that was just not a thing that that I was into. But so she actually, talk about daughters teaching mommies, you know, lessons. She taught me so much about makeup, and I learned that a lot of my choices back then probably weren't my best choices.
Oh,
you know,
that's not
I
true.
learned about.
There's not an ugly photo of my mom ever from like the 60s through the 2000s. Like that's just not in existence. So.
But in terms of shading, I've learned a lot going to stores with her and having people show me different
Techniques.
different things. You know, I've learned a lot about shading. I have again tried lipstick. I probably have 4 or 5 lipsticks in my room that
I even gave her Charlotte Tilbury and I still can't get her to wear it.
I just never got into it. My mother, as I said earlier, would not leave the house without hers.
Was it red or what did she wear?
Red.
Oh, of course.
You know, and for my lips, I have very skinny lips. I didn't need my lips to be shouting out there. My daughter has gorgeous lips. I love her lips. She did not inherit them from me. But
Dad doesn't have lips either, so I don't know.
recessive gene. I also have someone who helps me with my skincare products.
Yeah, Mom sees an esthetician. She's fancy.
And
she gets
she's
facials.
Wonderful. And I love getting my fire and ice facials once a month.
That's such a good one. Oh my God.
And if any of you live in the Oakland area, you can contact Gabrielle, and I'm sure she can tell you who we go to.
Yeah, Ray is amazing.
Another issue that has influenced what I can and cannot do is 2 years ago, I lost sight in my right eye, and I've had 5 eye surgeries. And while the initial problem was resolved, the subsequent problems were not. So I've lost the sight. The one day I was trying to put on eye makeup, and I was sitting at the dining room table, and I did my right eye, which is the blind one, and then I went to do my left eye, and I closed my eye, and I just started to laugh because I couldn't see anything, and I had totally forgotten that I would not be able to do my eye makeup the same way I'm used to. So I'm learning how to do my left eye makeup while my eyes open, which is not what I ever did before.
I think that became like a trend that in the early years of YouTube, most of us all closed our eye, and then you learn that if you keep your eye a little bit open while you do it, your eye skin is a lot more relaxed and not as taut. And so if you do one thing while your eye skin is taut, it looks completely different when you, because like I have a textured eyelid that's kind of like lumpy and bumpy, and so if I try and like pull my eye like old school, then you like let it go.
Bumpy, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm learning. You know, you can teach an old cat new tricks.
Yeah, we are a cat household.
But I do enjoy going shopping for makeup with Gabrielle.
She loves purple. So
I love
I'm curious if
purple.
she'll pick purple today.
I love mascara. I have poked myself in the eye a few times putting it on because I don't have depth perception.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Alright, so what do we think? Is this light enough foundation? Is this acceptable? I think the shade might be a little too light for me right now, but we'll warm it up.
That's because it's summertime, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I still like your freckles.
It's still not light enough. You wanted a powder foundation and I did not give you that option.
That's all right.
So we're going to have you pick a palette. So I have 4 palettes here. I have the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. And so this one has a lot of fun reds and purples.
Ooh, I like that.
So that one looks like this. So you can, that's one option. And then I'm gonna make you pick colors. So I'm gonna have her pick a palette and then pick 3 colors from each palette to kind of streamline it.
So this palette is one.
Yeah, so then in the similar theme we have the Naked Heat palette that looks like this, which is mostly oranges and some golds and stuff.
Oh, beautiful. This is going to be a tough choice.
Oh, it's gonna get harder. Okay, and then we have one of my favorite palettes of all time. It looks a mess. I'm sorry to show it to you like this. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette, because this has the best metallics I've probably ever used.
Wow.
I picked similar colors because I know what kind of colors you kind of like in general, and then we're gonna get weird with it.
Well, top? No.
Okay, and then to depart, just to like scandalize my mother, we have the Milk Cosmetics. No, it hasn't scandalized you yet. The Milk Cosmetics Smoke Sessions palette, which are all marijuana themed. As we talk.
Oh, I had no idea what that was when I was a kid. No.
Not in the 70s. But this palette is wild and has greens and golds, so that's
gorgeous.
Yeah. It's a really beautiful palette.
Okay.
Now you have to pick one.
Really?
Yeah.
This is really very difficult. Why don't we try that
So
one?
Mom's gonna go with the
like
Norvina
both.
palette, which is probably my favorite palette of all time. Like if this is like my desert island, like you can only have one palette for the rest of your life, it would be the Norvina palette.
Good choice.
Right. So out of this palette, what colors do you want to choose? So you have to pick 3. I'm gonna make them work. If she doesn't pick a transition shade, I'll be sad, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying I know what a transition shade is.
Yeah. Well, pick a lid color. There you go. Pick what you want all over the lid.
So are we going to be...
What? It's up. This is your choice. Dealer's choice? I don't know. Is that how that works?
Should we do drama?
Drama. Ooh, Mom wants the dark purple all over the lid. Okay. And then pick 2 others.
And they should probably be a little lower key, or
Up to you. I can make it
difference?
work. You're challenging my skills to make it wearable.
Well, I'm sorry, I have to go with Wild Child.
Okay, she wants. Oh, that one's pretty. Okay, so
Just because she is.
my.
And then I'm guessing we should also have a matte for contrast.
That would help, yeah.
How about love?
Love. So she has picked Love, Wild Child, and Drama all over the lid. This is gonna be wild.
Now I should tell everybody, I have never in my life used 3 different colors on my eye. Well, I guess if you count eyeliner, because I've used multiple colors of eyeliner, but in terms of shadow, I've 2 is what I've usually done,
Okay.
not 1 or 2, not 3. So that's why I was having a little bit of a...
Like a lid color, like an outer corner color kind of a thing, or?
Or lid and then upper eye and then a complementary eyeliner to go along with it.
Okay.
I did get away from just black, which I have to say, black is one of my favorite colors in terms of clothing. But I have learned to try to use different mascara colors and eyeliner colors to go along, even if I wear black.
So what I really want to ask you about is being a teenager in the 60s. I mean, I know the story, but you guys don't know the story. As a teenager in the 60s, it was a bit of a conservative time, which is why there was like that hippie revolution kind of. But when you were in high school, you were only allowed to wear
Dresses.
Skirts or dresses?
Skirts or dresses. We were not allowed to wear pants until the winter of my senior year. When 1969 started, they finally gave us permission to wear pants because, girl, it gets cold in Chicago in the winter.
Just a little.
And so we would all wear like pants under our dresses and then take them off and leave them in our locker.
Oh my
or
gosh.
a lot of women, wore tight pantyhose just so we could stay warm. And I'm not remembering exactly how that came to change, but we did eventually pressure the school enough that we could then wear.
What'd you wear for
pants.
PE? Like, did you have PE?
Oh gosh, PE were these ugly royal blue one-piece
One
rompers.
piece? Ah, sweet. Oh my gosh.
But they were not cute rompers. They were ugly rompers. And yeah, so I think that way it was like no one was competing and wearing cute little stuff. It was like royal blue rompers, and there were a few places that you could get them, and we all.
Oh, you had to like buy
wore
them separately, like from somewhere?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because you had to get ones that would fit you.
Yeah.
Swimsuits were these little tank suits that had absolutely no cups in them.
Oh, of course.
And I'm speaking from the point of view of someone who was big-breasted, even in high school. They had no cups. They were just knitted suits, and they were color-coded as to like 10, 12, 14, you know, it's like each size was a different color, so that whoever was working behind could hand you the right one. They wouldn't have to look at labels. They just knew color.
So everyone knew what your size was, but oh my god, that's horrible. That is.
You know, I never really thought about it that way. You know, I mean, look, it wasn't flattering no matter which color it was.
Like literally every single size was a different color, or is it like there was like maybe the 10 and the 16 might be the same color? Oh.
Everything was a different shade of whatever. The 60s is also when mini dresses came into being, and we couldn't wear mini dresses to school. I mean, they didn't have a specific how many inches above your knee were acceptable, but it was made really clear to us that we were not wearing mini dresses. I wore mini dresses. I mean, not to school. Wore them all through college, and, you know, because the 70s was really wear what you want kind of stuff. And I had bell bottoms in every color of the rainbow, plus my blue ones from the Army surplus, although they were really Navy surplus. They weren't Army surplus.
Army surplus was like the thing in the 70s. Every time I hear it, like,
I had a jacket from the Army surplus store to keep me warm in the winter. And yeah, I wish I had held on to a lot of my bell bottoms, because you know they're in a lot of places. But I'll tell you, at my age, I have given up dressing to please anybody except for maybe I do it.
No matter your age.
I do ask Gabrielle what she thinks of something, if she'll be seen with me or not if I wear it. But I have dresses that are 20 years old. I have pants that are 20 years old. I wear
So do I.
what I
still have tops from middle school. Yeah, I still have tops from 2000 that I still wear. I don't care.
I have gotten to the point where I wear only to please myself.
Good.
And if I feel like I look good, I mean, sure, it's nice to get compliments. We all love to get compliments. But I don't dress to please anybody but myself.
That's how I was raised. You raised me like that. I never made anyone. I never thought. Well, now I dress to make you all happy. I'm kidding, but I never felt that pressure. I never really followed trends as like, which means I don't have really horrible like early 2000s photos that look.
That looks really good.
Thank you. It's a little wild. I went a little weird with it. I think you did a really good job raising me. That I don't feel like I ever had any like, oh, girls wear this and we do this. It was it's interesting. I think you had that same rule for me, that I couldn't really wear makeup till I went to high school. You'd let me go to Claire's or Walgreens or Long's, and I would get like, I had this palette in middle school that was baby blue, baby pink, and white, and I was allowed to wear a color on my lid. I couldn't wear mascara, I couldn't wear eyeliner, I could just wear a wash of sparkle. That led to some bad photos. And so like middle school dances was like when I got to put on like a glitter, but there's no mascara, there's no liner. It was a look.
But I don't think once you hit high school I had much of a limit on you, because when you were in drama and working with makeup all the time, you learned how to mix and match and present, whether it was dramatic or whether it was everyday use.
There's a lot of green in high school.
and I think you learned a lot younger than I did how to really blend things and put them together, and I've always admired that about you. And
that's so sweet. Yeah, Dad.
I don't remember ever having to tell you couldn't go out wearing something.
No, she. That's the story for another day.
Gosh.
No, Dad put, when I first went to Mac, so my middle school, high school friends, one of their older sisters took us to Mac before we started school so that we would be like ready for high school with like good makeup. Dad had a request that it be more natural. Dad didn't want at 14 me wearing like something super vampy and intense, and so I went and I got like a shimmery pink and some neutral tones and like a really cool like burgundy for like the outer corner, and oh god, then the 90s early aughts thing of this brown liner with a very pale lipstick. It was a look. I mean, I should do a video on that look. But then I think that's the only thing is that Dad asked when I was 14 that it stayed like a little more natural. But then yeah, once I got into drama, we were going to Mac and you were buying me like chartreuses and like all kinds of electric blue, like it.
We don't want to talk about how much I bought her for like birthdays and holidays.
But that's cool. That was the way that I grew my makeup collection. That's what I wanted as my presents. My birthday was I went to Mac and I got them to like apply my makeup on one side, and I learned how to do makeup from kind of professionals. And so I think that's also what gave me such a huge leg up at a young age. But they would kind of give me a look that was more age appropriate. But oh, there's just one like gold look and like with like a smoky liner that was very Cleopatra. That was good. Oh, I love that. The other thing I was curious, so with the 60s, because you were more like a teenager, so like the super strong hippie area kind of had to pass you by because you were too
No, actually,
young.
in Illinois, the hippie era was the 70s. Because, you know, while 67 was, you know, the heyday, I'm sure for maybe older folks, there might have been more in Chicago about that, but, you know, and I did go, I have an older sister, she's 2.5 years older than me and 2 years ahead of me in school, and I used to go visit her when she was in college. And so I saw a lot of different things, but mostly I noticed how people dressed. I didn't look at makeup. Makeup wasn't,
So it wasn't like
major...
So it wasn't like all the
it was
girls
all natural.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't like all the girls in school were wearing makeup, and then you felt like the odd one out because everyone was made up, or. But there probably were girls who were very.
Oh, there were definitely girls who wore it. You know, if you look through my yearbook, you'll see people were definitely wearing it, and one or two started wearing it. Even in 8th grade, there were a few that were a little ahead of me and the choices that they made. But again, that was not something that I felt a pressure of any of my friends. I am still friends with people I knew in 1st grade. Mm-hmm. In fact, I'm going to go to my 50th high school reunion and talk about trying to figure out, you know, I guess I do think, what should I wear to, you know, and what makeup should I take? But these are all women who never really judged each other. Not my group of friends. Not to say that there weren't people who judged, but my group of friends never judged. And people wore eyeshadow, and people wore some makeup, and people wore lipstick, but you know,
It wasn't like a thing like, oh, if you were made up, that there was like a thing about you, or if you didn't wear makeup, so it was, okay.
No, I mean, you know, there were a few people who probably wore heavier makeup than others, and who knows what the reasons were. You know, maybe they had a skin condition that they were trying to cover up. You know, people might go, oh, you know,
that's a bold look.
That's a bold look. But aside from that initial you know, again, I had wonderful friends. We never talked about each other in that sense. So I was never exposed to people judging others for the makeup or that they wore. You know, I was never in one group or another. I had friends in all the different groups. I went to summer camp, and at summer camp I was friends with kids from the suburbs. So it's kind of hard for me to say, maybe that's why my look is still more eclectic.
Yeah, because
even now, because I was influenced by everybody.
Now that I have finished rubbing darkness all over my eyes, what kind of a liner do you like? Just a line along the top? Do you want like a vintage wing while we're talking, or just
I'm not into
wings.
The vintage wings.
Okay, the little like that cat eye. Okay, so we'll just do a simple black liner. That's not her thing. That's what I always do on this channel. So we're stepping out of my comfort zone. This is gonna be interesting. This liner is called Schwing, and the whole
The whole purpose is for it to have
yeah,
rings.
the whole like thing is it's a very like vintage. It's from the Balm, and their whole thing is kind of vintagey. Except that man has a bulge in it. Oh no, they're staring at his butt. Okay, it's a baseball player, and they're staring at his butt. These three ladies.
I used to go to the Oakland A's and stare
Yeah.
at Tony Armas. He was in right field,
I used
and we
to.
would sit right behind him. And
I would
stare
go
at
to the
his
third
butt.
baseline to watch Eric Chavez, and Dad would always get mad because I was like 15 staring at a grown man's butt. He had a great butt. I'm not sorry. Your college ID photos are gorgeous. Like, it's not fair. I've never had an ID photo that looked as good as my mom's college ID photos. It's just,
You're
yeah.
very sweet.
No, can I show them? Like, can I put them?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, no, this one was gorgeous, and it's just, and yeah, you're very natural. Maybe you're wearing, I think in your, it's very,
I probably have eyeliner.
your freshman photo, there's definitely eyeliner, and then as you get older, your hair gets wilder. The makeup gets like almost gone. But you
It grew quickly back then. It
Yeah.
doesn't grow nearly as quickly now.
Mine doesn't grow as quickly anymore either. Slow. I'm trying. But you also have curly hair. I did not. Not in my
She did
store.
not get my hair.
No one got
Neither,
your hair.
neither did my other daughter.
That's unfair.
See, but when I was growing up, I wanted straight hair because in the 60s, that's what was popular. Peggy Lipton from the Mod Squad, blonde,
Oh,
long
yeah.
blonde hair. I mean, I used to iron my hair. I used something called
She
curl
literally
free.
used an iron. She put her head on the ironing. I can't.
I used curl free. I used permanence, but instead of using the rollers, you just combed it through.
Oh my God.
And I have to say, the last time I straightened my hair was when I was pregnant with Gabrielle.
Is that why my hair came out straight? The chemicals seeped in.
Chemicals went through. and that was the last time. You know, I finally, and I was 37 when I had her, so I finally made peace with my curls. Then I would go in and out. I would like my curls. I wouldn't like my curls. I wanted straight hair. I didn't want straight hair. But ever since she was born, so 30 years ago, I
That's
made
it's
peace.
wild. I couldn't
I made
imagine
peace
you
with
with.
it.
I mean, I've seen photos of you with straightened hair, but you definitely never had that. And so I think I grew up, and you were kind of like a 90s hippie mom. You wore a lot. There's a brand in the Bay Area called Tiandeho, which was very Indian inspired, Southeast
fitting.
Asian, yeah, really flowy, and just very like Earth Mother goddess kind of. And then she had this long flowy. Sometimes it was shorter, but like you just had this curly hair, and it was just like, this is me. And like, so that was a really good image to grow up with, because I never felt like, as much as I loved playing with makeup, I've never felt like any of it was needed or necessary. It was just my artistic expression, because I can't draw for the life of me, but I can smudge color on my face in a pleasing manner, and not always a pleasing manner. And so I think that's a really fortunate way I grew up, is that you just really had this confidence in like the way you dressed and the way you looked, and yeah, and makeup was never a part of it. So I think that also helped me not feel like makeup was necessary.
I think I chose the pink because it goes with your hair.
Oh yeah, it does.
And there's still times I'll choose makeup because of either what I'm wearing
Yeah.
or different things. Like I wouldn't want to put orange on with this dress.
So you always would choose your outfits first and then do makeup?
Yes.
No, okay. Some of us like to just go crazy with it and go, what could I possibly wear? Like, I don't know what I'm gonna wear.
No,
today.
my clothes always came first.
So I'm gonna make her pick out of my giant drawer of things. We're gonna pick out some blush and some bronzer. Are you a more
Intimidated?
Yeah, no. Are you more? Do you like a more matte skin? Do you like sparkle? Do you
I like sparkle.
Okay.
On you?
Okay. Do you think you want a more like a matte bronzer, or do you want me to like sparkle like a sugar plum fairy?
Well, I'd have to see the sugar plum fairy.
Okay. Let's see. So this is this cool color.
Oh, that's
I don't know if
neat.
they make these anymore.
I would do that.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the Beach Bunny bronzer from Too Faced. I don't know if they make it anymore. For blush, we have purple. Probably want to go with a pinkier blush. Good luck to me having pinky blushes. I have so many peach blushes. Ooh, that one's kind of pretty.
That goes well with it.
Okay, so this is Rosé from Laura Mercier. So for face stuff, when you were younger, there was like, this is my highlighter drawer. My drawer of highlighters.
This is why I get out of the house a lot faster than she does.
Don't know what you're talking about. So there was definitely like foundation or base, and there was rouge and blush. probably not really bronzer or contour.
I don't think bronzer.
Was there highlighter?
Well, unless,
Maybe the
not that we used. I shouldn't say it didn't exist, because I'm sure older
Yeah.
women had those choices, and they went to makeup stores. I went to Walgreens.
Yeah. But nowadays all these things are available in a Walgreens.
Yeah.
Do you remember, was highlighter quite a thing? Like face shimmer? Was face shimmer?
I don't remember that.
Okay. Well, we're gonna pick
Other
out...
people may remember that. You should come to the reunion with me and ask people.
Okay, so we're gonna pick out a face shimmer. So I have some that are purple. If you want a purple face shimmer, I got this one. I actually picked up, hey guys, I picked up this at Costco for like less than $20, and most Becca highlighters were like $40, and I got it for like $19 at Costco. So don't skimp on your Costco's. So this one is like a pinky purple. It looks like this.
Oh yeah.
So that's a
I like
purpley
that.
one. Oh, what's the weird one? I have an old Jeffree Star one. This is a fun one. You ready for this one?
Well, they go with that other palette.
Yeah, they would go with Smoke Sessions. That's actually very on brand for Jeffree Star. So one of the things that I have been proudest of you for, of leading kind of fights with, is, so when you were in college, there is still a lot of gender inequality. And so her college had this wonderful rule. And would you like to explain the wonderful rule about ladies?
Ours. This only happened for the beginning of my freshman year. This was the beginning of I was kind of active in politics in high school, but this was
The
my
Vietnam War was going on.
But this was my first college thing. Women had hours. During the week we had to be in our rooms by 10. 10 or 11, I'm forgetting, it was a few years ago. 50 to be exact. We had to be in, but boys didn't. They could stay out as long as they wanted. On weekends we had to be in at 12, but we got 4 1 o'clocks a month. If we did not get in on time, they added up our minutes till we were 15 minutes late. So if we were 5 minutes one night, 5 minutes another, by the end of, when we earned 15 minutes, we got what we called was a date jerk, which meant we could not go out on a Friday or Saturday night. One Friday or Saturday night we had to stay in our room like we were naughty little girls, and again, boys had nothing.
So the boys were never, but there was never any restrict.
No.
Holy shit!
I didn't go for this. And I had a friend who was a sophomore, and so he and I went to go talk to the dean. And Dean was male. And he asked me if I had already earned my date jerk, and I said no. I only had about 7 minutes. We talked to him about the fact that this was discriminatory. And, it was to protect women. It's like, you can get pregnant during the day. You are not protecting us by making us come in.
Is that really what it was? Or do you think it was like...
I think it was a lot so that we wouldn't sleep with our boyfriends.
Do that in the car
so we had to be back. I mean, guys could, and it was only for
I don't live in the dorms, or...
Yeah, I mean, obviously they can't say anything about women who live in town.
Yeah.
But, so I started school the middle of September. In November, they did away with hours.
Yes.
But the compromise we had to make was anybody who had already earned a date jerk under the old rules had to still take it. So that was our compromise.
For one last, misogynistic...
one last thing. And starting the next year, okay, so remember, this was November of '69. Starting in fall of 1970, we had co-ed dorms.
Oh, wow.
And that meant, in some of the dorms, it was, you had 10 people on one side, a door in between, and then another suite with 10 people. So it was women on one side, men on the other. The door in between could be open or closed. You could lock it either way. So if the women didn't feel like having the guys over, they could just push the button and keep them out.
That seems kind of neat.
And so I lived in that dorm for 3 years. And then there was another dorm that also had a co-ed suite, but it was different. This had 18 people in the suite. It was 2 floors. And so women were on one floor, men were on the other floor, and they all shared the living room, but they had their own bathrooms, so the guys had them on. So and they still have co-ed dorms. My daughter, my oldest daughter, her older sister, went to the same college, and she lived in a co-ed dorm.
I was actually like not scandalized, but shocked when she lived in she eventually lived in a town, or always lived in her townhouse.
Always.
And there was like guys, and because it was a house, and then like there was like everyone's rooms, and I was like, oh my gosh, my sister lives with boys. And then I lived in a dorm where one side of the hallway was girls, one side was boys. And so we definitely had separate bathrooms, but you would just walk out.
Right.
The showers were also, but well, actually, first I lived in a GSA kind of house, and that was only like one shower bathroom per floor, and that was just everybody all mixed up. However,
So I do give my college credit for
eventually
learning their lesson. Well, and it didn't take a whole year, not even a whole year to
from
go
when you started. But how long had it been going on for?
The college started in 1837.
Yeah.
So
It's one of the last standing sites of the Lincoln Douglas debates.
Yeah. Yes. And so I do give them a lot of credit for listening to us.
It's still wild. I mean,
It was absurd.
Did you know that policy was in place when you picked it?
I think so, but
You figured I'm just gonna I'm just gonna change it.
and so that was the first thing I ever did in college that was a struggle for women, and I continued to do things my 4 years there plus, but
were you also involved in the getting to wear pants in high school?
That I think was a whole Chicago thing. It wasn't just our high school, so I think it was bigger than us.
I want to have you pick a bottom liner, so I've gotten most of my face done. I didn't ask you about brows because I don't think you really had a preference. Nope. A bottom liner for my waterline, I guess my waterline, like a bottom purple. Yeah, I kind of figured that it was gonna be.
Has to be that.
Yeah.
In my eyes. I mean, on your eyes, in my eyes.
I think I probably did get you one of these before, so you probably have this.
Yeah,
this is like
Vice
liner from Urban Decay. Do you feel like you used to wear makeup more in high school, and then with the wave of like kind of women's lib in the 70s, do you think that took you away from makeup? Was there a lot? Do you feel like there was a lot of judgment? Not necessarily in your small college, but just in the world that women should wear less makeup in the 70s, or was that just kind of the fashion trend that it was?
I think it was a fashion trend. Again, it depended upon what circle you went in. There was never any pressure. I don't even remember discussions about makeup when I was.
Were you not like a women's magazine type person? So you never really read.
When I was younger, at some points I read Vogue, or I read Teen, and I read Mademoiselle, I mean, I would look through them, and at our college we had them in the library, so we didn't even have to necessarily go buy them.
Nice.
So I mean, I knew what was hip.
Yeah.
But it never was that important to me. And as I was saying, I don't ever remember having a conversation about makeup in my 4 years in college about how people wore it, did people wear it. I probably at times might have worn some eye makeup. It just wasn't anything I thought about, really. It wasn't an important part of
But it was important to you in high school, and so it just kind of faded?
Yeah, but I think in high school it was kind of a step above being a tween. You were now a teenager, and you could do this stuff, and it was neat, and it was new. And once I knew it, it wasn't as important to me. I mean, as you know now, there are some days I will put on makeup. When we went to France, I wore makeup. When I'll take my makeup to Chicago with me. It was depends on what mood I'm in.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So now we're gonna get to the fun part that I'm slightly scared of, because this is a bold look, which on my channel it's not a rare thing. We're gonna pick lipstick now.
I know, but that's what I was saying, lipstick.
I'm a little scared, but that's gonna be fine, because my mom
Let me
likes.
put it to you this way: I will never let you put on something that you would hate to wear out of this house.
Well, I would never own something I would hate to wear.
Well, that's
I
true.
guess
but
I could
I mean,
wear.
in terms of clashing,
Okay.
you know, if you're going, oh no, Ma, I'm not letting you walk out of the house and go to a party wearing something that people would look at you and go,
Right.
well, You always look so put together. What?
This is like a smidgen of my Urban Decay collection, so you can look so that you can kind of see I arranged them, trying to show the audience at home. So those are some fun colors. And this is my mostly not the half Urban Decay, half not Urban Decay. Is that Rapture? I think it's my wedding lipstick. So obviously I love it. That Rapture? Yeah. Yeah, we can try Rapture. Rapture is kind of a what do you want? How would you describe Rapture? A very dusty mauvey pink slash love.
The way it looks with the
The crease. Okay, cool. We'll do Rapture. Worst case, we don't like it.
We can take it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's not permanent.
Oh, that does look really
Which is
nice.
why I don't have tattoos. I like tattoos, but they're permanent. And I like to change things up.
I'm planning a tattoo for Tucky,
I know.
but it'll be on my shoulder, so none of us have to look at it all the time.
That looks.
Looks strong.
What do you think? Or is it
we've worn black lipstick on this channel, so we this is pretty.
But I've just meant coordinating with
yeah.
the
I
eye.
think
You think it?
Yeah, no, I think that's what it does. Yeah. And I don't think the face is too strong, so it's not like I don't look like Tammy Faye Baker, so I think we're okay. So you don't think you'd wear this look, Mom? That's not a.
I like that.
Oh, I think it's I dig it too. I'm just saying I don't know if it's necessarily what you would. Well, maybe a little gothy for you.
I wouldn't say it's gothy. I just.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm just much more.
I'm sorry,
Not subtle's not even the word either. I just don't wear the dark. I like the eyes.
Yeah. Is the lipstick too much for you in terms of what you might wear?
For me, I probably wouldn't. Because as I said, I don't like bringing focus to my lips.
She said before we started, she's like, I was like, so I'm gonna have to pick my eyes and my lipstick, and she's like, I like dark lipstick on you, and I'm like, oh boy. I'm surprised. I really thought she was gonna go for blackmail, which is like practically like a black purple, and so I was waiting for like the most. No. But you're also like,
I'm rational.
You're like a cool mom. She doesn't get that reference. It's okay. Where you like I've come to you wearing like a green lipstick, and you're like, oh, I like that. You can't.
I like a lot of things that I would never wear.
Well, yeah, because
she's also 37 years younger than me.
I'm still probably gonna wear makeup like this when I'm your age.
Probably.
It's not gonna.
And that's okay.
I wear like makeup and I'm like, oh, this is bold makeup, and then I realize that my hair is hot pink.
Right.
So it's kind of like anything I do is kind of bold. Subtlety's not what we really do in this family. That's never been our thing. So, yeah, because my aunt, who I have the same exact birthday as down to the hour, has had purple hair, and so she's had all manners of purples. Rarely has gone to her natural color. I think there's a few photos of her in the late 90s where she had like a month-long break. Yeah. But so yeah, wild hair is kind of in this family. So it's kind of hard to like surprise our family. Maybe if you were like a very button-up kind of person, that might get you a weird eye in this family. I think you did a good job. Do you feel like you did a good job picking it out?
I had a lot of fun doing this.
I just want to make sure you didn't feel like you picked.
No. I'm happy with my choices, and you didn't look at me askance, so I think we did good.
I mean, I was a little scared at first with the dark purple lid. It's been a really long time since I've worn like a really dark color on my lid, and then you picked like such a bright other color that I'm just like, there's no in between. So I just made an in between. I just rubbed the pink on the purple and just made my own in betweens. So, but I feel a little 80s, not in a bad way. I just feel like I belong in like a glam rock band, and we're like in all. What was in a Barracuda earlier? That's where I belong. That's what we got influenced by this. So yeah. Well,
you did well.
Yes, thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you to my mommy for coming on and putting yourself on the internet. I appreciate that. If you guys have any other ideas of what you would like to see my mom and I do for a video together, leave them down below. We'll see if I can tempt her into that. We'll see you next time, guys. I will see you next time. All right. Bye.
Bye.